Basi natumai kwamba huu ndio mwisho wa KTN News Center. Mtazamaji, basi taarifa zifuatazo ni taarifa za leo mashinani siku ya leo, karibu sana. Lakini kwanza kabisa na kupeleka kwenye ile hafla ambapo Jaji Mkuu David Maraga anazindua ujenzi wa mahakama pale katika eneo la Kahawa West. Mtazamaji, hebu tuendelee kutazama.
Mukitoka hapa hamutakuwa vile mulikuja hapa. Tunawatarajia mkienda nje mfanye kazi na wananchi wengine, na hata mtusaidie kuambia wale wengine ambao wanaanza kujihusisha na maovu ya kwamba sio vizuri kujipata kwa maovu na kuingia prison. Na washukuru kwa hiyo na muendelee vizuri. The Cabinet Secretary, Minister of Interior and Coordination, Dr. Fred Matiang'i, the Principal Judge of the High Court, Justice Ajode, Justice Kimaru, the Principal Secretary, State Department of Correctional Services, Mrs. Zainab Hussein, the Chief Registrar of the Judiciary, Ms. Anna Madi, the Commissioner General of Prisons, Mr. Isaiah Osugo, representatives of the UNODC here present, representative of the US Embassy. Ladies and gentlemen, good morning.
Good morning.
I'm happy to be here this morning on this important occasion of groundbreaking for the construction of a court complex here to handle some of the cases that we have. Not many people in our country know that we deal with quite a number of cases, some of which require a lot of security arrangements for them to be dealt with. We have, unfortunately, the state where we have reached well over transnational crimes, organized crimes, including cases like terrorism and other serious crimes, which require special arrangements for the hearing of those cases. But we also must recognize and accept the fact that we have challenges when it comes to dealing with some of those cases. Yes, we have experienced delays in court, which we cannot blame on the prison services because of challenges that they also encounter. There are times we start cases very late in court because the prison services are not able to bring the prisoners and the remandees to court in good time. Not because they don't want to, but as I've said, because of challenges that they have. So when you are dealing with crimes like terrorism and other organized crimes, they require not only transport, but an outlay of security arrangements for them to bring the suspects to court. So this, the construction of this court will go a long way to ease our work as the court, because we can then start in good time. And as the Commissioner General of Prisons has said, it will also be a big relief to him because of the transport and the security arrangements that they have to make. Yes, we have Shansu Court, which was constructed with the assistance of UNODC. It has served us very well. We want to take this opportunity to thank UNODC for that, and to thank you in advance for the construction of this one and others in the country. That has gone a long way and been able to assist us to deal with the cases within a very short time. You know, when you waste like an hour waiting for prisoners, you would have finished a case. So if we can have these facilities in some strategic areas in the country, the Chief Registrar is here. He will supply information to the Ministry of where we require these facilities. It will go a long way to assist us to deal with these cases that come before us. The construction of this court here in Kahawa is also significant in another way. See, as if you recall, we have mentioned that we have congestion in our courts. So this court here, besides being used to hear the cases of these transnational crimes and others, we will also use it to hear criminal cases from around the region. In fact, this facility will go a long way to decongest Madaraka law courts, because we will bring some of the criminal cases here, and also Kiambu. Quite a number of cases arising from here will be heard at this place. And I'm very happy, Mr. Sugo, for the location. It is not inside the prison, so that anybody can say he is not able to come to court. It is at adjacent to an open and public road, so the public will be able to come in without any hindrance, and I'm sure the construction will be done in such a way that the public will not have a problem accessing these premises. And that's why I'm saying that this facility will go a long way to decongest and assist us to deal with other cases which we have in our country. UNODC has been helping us in other areas. Commissioner Usu has talked about the congestion in the prisons. We have quite a number of cases in prison, some of which we are reviewing, and we want to see what we can do. One program that we have is one which has streamlined the criminal justice sector. Key among the reforms that we are carrying out in that area is we have a National Committee on Criminal Justice Reform, which is comprehensively reviewing the sector and come up with recommendations of what we need to do. We have already, with the assistance of UNODC and other partners, decriminalized some of the minor offenses, so that when somebody is sentenced, instead of coming to prison, they can perform duties. They can work in various places and serve their sentence instead of coming to prison. And we are grateful to UNODC for those programs. You have also talked about the congestion. I'm happy that Kimaru is here, Mr. Sugo. We keep reviewing the cases that require the congestion. Please make appropriate recommendations of those ones which you recommend, and just Kimaru and his team will take up those cases and see how we can assist to decongest the prisons. CS in the past raised issues of the numbers in prisons, because you know the more you have, the more space you require, and the more money you require to keep them there. You need to feed the prisoners. You need to keep them healthy. You need to do quite a number of things for them. So those cases that we can have, the prisoners who we can have to serve their sentences out, we will also be too happy to do that, and we are going to continue reviewing those cases and release those who are not required to be here any longer once they have been reformed. So we are going on with these reforms. As you know, we are also having quite a number of challenges. We have quite a number of cases that have now come to our courts, particularly the cases involving corruption. And at this stage, I want to take this opportunity to thank His Excellency the President for putting in a word for us, to the Treasury, to release funds to us to enable us to deal with those cases. And I want to assure the country that we are going to deal with those cases expeditiously and according to law. I have said before that the suspects of corruption being brought to court have nothing to worry at all, that their cases will not be handled as required by law. What we are emphasizing is that those cases will have to be heard on a day-to-day basis. That does not mean that we are skipping any step. What we are doing instead is actually having those cases heard as quickly as possible so that we are able to deal with others. And with the facilities, the funds that will be given to us, we have made adequate arrangements for those cases to be heard on a day-to-day basis. And where there is no evidence, as I have assured the suspects before, they will be acquitted. But where there is evidence, it is our duty to convict, and we will convict, and of course pass appropriate sentence, bearing in mind the circumstances of each case. We are happy, CS, to cooperate with the other government agencies, the police, the CID, while maintaining our independence and leaving the other arms of government to also operate as independently as possible. Where we have to cooperate, like facilities like this one, there is nothing wrong coming together and working together. So because we have all one major duty to perform, to deliver justice to the people of Kenya. And delivering justice is dealing with the cases that come before us. With those few remarks, once again, I want to thank UNODC for the assistance you are giving us. And I want to assure you that the funds you will release here will be utilized well. I'm happy particularly to hear that the construction of this facility, it is the prisoners, the ones who have been trained as masons and artisans, who will be involved in the construction. That's another way of finding out whether the training that has been offered here in the prison is up to standard. And I'm sure the prisoners who will be involved will be happy. They will, even when they go out, they can tell their clients that, look, we are the ones who constructed that court. Give us a job to do. So the prisoners who are going to be involved, please make sure you do a good job so that you can have a reference point from here. With those few remarks, it is now my pleasure to declare the launch of this court officially started and the construction to go ahead. Thank you very much.
Thanks a lot, Honorable Chief Justice. Some housekeeping to go. We shall request our guests to be seated. We serve a cup of tea, after which we shall also be requesting kindly that we have a group photo with the development partners. And they will very good pray, because we did get a good chance in the beginning. Now, as we call upon the prayer to come and pray for us, and also to pray for the cup of tea, I want to invite Madam Anna Madi, the Chief Registrar of the Judiciary, to pass a vote of thanks as we come to a close. Madam Amadi.
Thank you very much, MC. The Honorable the Chief Justice and President of the Supreme Court of Kenya, Justice David Maraga, our Cabinet Secretary, Ministry of Interior and Coordination of National Government, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, mine is just to say a big thank you for this day. And I want to begin by thanking God Almighty for making this possible, for giving us